Hi everyone, I'm just finding the video on my iPad, then we'll get started with today's class. Oh, this week's class, right, there we go. Oh dear me, we do not need to hear my voice echoing. It'd be a bit of a moment. There we go. Memorize that. Oh, hello, Di. We're on the tube.
You just see your message?
Have a bit of a drink of water, and then let's get started, shall we? So last week we obviously did this page here where we had a tag stuck over, and we did all the usual layers. Oh, hello, Diane G. Well, not usual. We kept it quite flat, as you guys can see, because we're getting into the colder months, so we're trying to do less watery techniques. Oh, hello, Diane B. And then I made this tag during the week from that one there. So I just add a piece of gauze and a word and a bit of stuff. That's the stamp that broke, and glass dome. So that's pretty nice, I reckon. It's just a nice little use. So hello, Tash. That's the tag that we have left over. I haven't stuck anything to the back of it yet because I'm still waiting for it to fully dry. So I'm just going to put that one up there. And before we go to the next page, we are going to wax this one. Gee, Diana, I know we have so many on. Lots of dyes. So let me just. I just melted a little bit my candle because it makes it a bit easier on me to be able to do this technique. It doesn't require me to put out a shoulder. It's quite nice. You know. There we go. Yep. There we are. And no longer sticky. See? So that's that. So we're ready to go on to the next one. That's just ensuring it's not going to stick. Trying to get better at that because we have a lot of art journals. I have a lot of art journals to go back and do that on. Right. So tonight, what I thought, we're kind of keeping with the same type of theme, I think, throughout, because I reckon it'd be pretty cool if you opened up and there was a hole in the middle of each page. Like, oh my god. Anyway, but with it, tonight I want to try and focus on scraping techniques and how sometimes when you do it, and like why sometimes you do it through a stencil and it gets all blobby, like why that happens and how we can fix that, and what stencils are really easy to scrape, which ones aren't, and why after scraping you should probably dry it before stamping. So we're going to really focus on that because I know sometimes you just want to do like a quick scrape of something over your page, and then all of a sudden it didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out in your brain, and then you've got to go through and try and clean it up and figure out what you're going to do next. So we're just going to stick these tags down. And we are going to try and remove it afterwards. So we want to make sure we can be able to remove it. Yeah. I might just do it a bit less seriously on this side. I just realised that I probably put too much tape on that one, but we will live with it. We will peel it back later. Oh, hello, Karis and Deborah. I'm glad you're looking forward to it. So we're just coming in and we're doing this one here again. So for all of you who didn't see, this was the tag that I created from the tag that we had left over from last week's class that we pulled off. So nice and simple. Added a few things. Put a bit more orange on there. I think it looks really nice. So just put that one off to one side. I don't really want to get any more paint on it. And then there we go. Yep, that's stuck on. Excellent. They're not at the same height. I will live with that. Later I'll be like, why did I stick them at the same height? And I will be like, oh, because I was lazy. All right. So let's get scraping. Also, if your Facebook isn't working tonight, this is over on YouTube, and if your YouTube isn't working tonight, this is over in our Facebook group. So there's two things that you can really use to scrape. Well, there's a few. You got palette knives, and you got a few different ones. Like we've got this generic one, and then we've got more of a spatula looking one, and then you even got like a little. I've got this prong one here. I don't tend to use that one too much. I might try and use it tonight. And then we've got our generic scraper card for a card that no longer works. So let's try this out for size. Anyone got any colors they want us to use tonight? Let's try and avoid blue and orange, shall we? Because we already did blue and orange. So let's see. What colors are we looking for tonight? Purple? Right. My little friend just suggested purple.
Wow.
You never know what you need to have from a little button.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is advice.
Take that as advice. Oh, I will.
Is that like being handcuffed?
You never know when your little buddy's gonna end up getting you in trouble.
You got Diane D over on the shoe.
Oh, I like red. Really?
Really, the first colour I
It's
see.
red. Maybe even green.
I have a passionate dislike for the color red.
Maybe even yellow.
I think I actually need to buy another yellow. I think my yellow's running out.
Jesus.
Yes, it is. I used most of it yesterday. Painting something for myself.
How about you go out and have your milk?
Purple sounds good, Diane G says. I think we might avoid red tonight, Diane D, because I'm not a red fan. What I'm thinking. So we've got this breeze color. Maybe next week we'll do red. I'm a bit precious tonight. I spent all day with my parents setting up our new machine. This is the second day we've been setting up this machine, and we're still not finished. And to be quite frank with you, the pool was not open today, so I couldn't go for a swim. Well, by the time we'd finished, it wasn't open still because it was a public holiday in Queensland. And hello, Lorraine. And I'm probably not going to get to go for a pool swim tomorrow because we have to go grocery shopping. Which means that, yeah, I'm a bit precious. So let's go with probably a color palette that's not going to make me die. And how does this look? We got a purple, a breeze, and a brown. Not as huge as a contrast as we did last week, but I think it will look nice. And if it gets a bit muddy with our scraping, it won't bother too much. Do your paints dry up when your lids are open? Yes. So when they're like this, they do dry up. So I do try and re-stick them down. I generally do about a 6-month clean on all of them. There are some paints that I don't use in my paint palette set because I was gifted them from a few people. Like I got a lot of paints when my grandmother stopped painting, and she had like a cobalt and a serene, which I don't use because both of them are pigments that you shouldn't use, especially if you're pregnant. They're paints you should avoid. And I've got sensitive skin and I paint with my hands, which is a big no-no already. And then, let's just add some dangerous pigments in there and whip it, bippity, boppity, boo. Life will just not work. So, yeah, my paints do dry out and the nozzles stop working. So I've got to take the lids off, even though however full they are, and do tapping to get them out, which is just a bit annoying. So we're going to put our brown over there because I feel like our brown's going to be our top layer scrape. I'm going to go with our lightest one first. So we're just going to come in with our breeze, and we're going to put a bit of a squiggle there. And I think a squiggle coming across there. And let's go with our 3s, but not do our 3s like we normally do. And we're going to do it on a massive diagonal. So we're going to have a few composition issues coming our way. But we will fix the balance. Did that answer your question, Deborah? You should definitely try and keep your lids on your paints as much as possible. I have currently one in a clippy bag because I lost the lid for it yesterday. I cannot find it in my area. So it's probably ended up in the collage box by accident. So just to show you how to scrape with your normal scraper card that you've got like a gift card or something that's, you know, out of date, used all the money on. You just come in. It's pretty simple. Spread it as thinly and in whatever direction you want. If you don't want these lines in it, scrape it in one direction. If you're okay with having lines in your scrapes, then you can scrape it in whichever direction. But if you don't want those lines, definitely scrape it in one direction. I'm not too worried. This is the base layer. Yeah, I figured that. But, you know, like, me not being able to register sarcasm sometimes comes in handy. Right. And then let's do our purple. So we're just going to come and do our purple. And this purple is a bit gluggy, remember, because it's an old paint. And to show you what stencil would be great for this type of thing is this one. See, you got this one. Even this one would be great for stenciling with scraping. This one will not be good. Too much detail. Same with this one. This one would be very difficult and might not look nice. And I'll show you that in a minute. But what I'm going to do, I reckon circles or... I was going to do circles, but then we pulled out this and it's singing. I don't know. Circles or triangles? The question of the century. We'll do circles. I think circles might work better. Oh, and then we can do this thingy on it. Okay, right, here we go. So we're going to come and do a circle. So we've got a bit on our palette knife. Doing stencils is easy to scrape through a palette knife. So we're just going to come in, scrape through our palette knife. This paint is not the best. Using gluggy paint is like nearly a death sentence. Close to it. I'm just going to come in. And we're scraping. So this is like one of those really nice stencils that no matter what, it's going to scrape amazingly. As you can see, you get the pattern that was on the stencil really well. No questions asked, all of that. And then what we can come and do is because it's a gluggy one, it's got a bit of extra paint in it. Just and then with the extra purple paint we've got on it now, we can come in. Might pick some up from there. Remembering to try and keep our layers a little bit thinner than usual. Did we use circles last week? Oh, shoot.
Oh no.
Oh no. Well, it looks like we'll be using the triangles next. We will use triangle somewhere tonight. So there we go. So as you can see, we've got that there, which I think looks really cool. So now that we've got that one, and we're waiting for it to dry, we're going to come in and add our brown in. And we're going to do something silly. I'm going to use a very thin stencil to do it, which probably won't work. So we will probably have to clean it. Just to show you what I mean, we're going to use this bird cage. See how thin those lines are and how the stencil was a little bit wobbly. Or should I show you a Stampero one? Stampero ones don't really scrape well. Like they can, but I find they bleed a bit. So let's do this one. There's a few tricks with really thin stencils like this. Making sure your background is dry is a really good starting point. And because of that, we're going to come in here. Just a bit off center. And yep, just there will do. Once again, we want to use our palette knife. And you want to make sure that you have as little as possible on there to scrape. Like, you know, if you're not a big fan of Vegemite and you've put like a good slab of butter on, and then you just want the hintest taste of Vegemite and you get like the smallest amount on a bread and butter knife, divide that by half. And you can, if you're a Vegemite fan, whatever spread you can't handle in that case. So then I'm just going to come in, and you definitely have to make sure it doesn't move. Because this is where problems can arise. Definitely going to use those triangles. Right. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work because it's super thin. Thin stencils are better if you use sprays, especially if you're heavy-handed like myself. Right. Yeah. And see how it leaked underneath? It's also because the stencil isn't fully attached, so anything with this much detail you should try and avoid scraping. If you are scraping, modeling paste would work okay. Just not pure paint, or a heavy body paint might work as well. You just have to test it and see where you go with it. I myself struggle with this a little bit, so we're just gonna, obviously, as you can see, so we're gonna scrape it out so that it's not too much in your face. And then we might come and do something, keeping the bit that actually did kind of work out all right, as you can see. There is a little bit. We're just then going to come in with a little bit of our brown here and mix it with our purple. so that it matches this bit over here. I'm just going to come in and do it up top here as well. And then we're going to put down our breeze on our palette, which is our backing sheet. Because now we are very organized, as you can see. And we're going to grab our gesso. Just grab out a bit of that, scrape it down. I've got a bit of extra bit on that paintbrush there, so we're just going to actually come in and use...
You'll hand it down a bit next week.
Yeah.
Our triangles. So, just use that white. This is not what I intended it for originally, but you know what? I think it might look really cool, so we're going to try it. Heaven knows if it will or not work. Oh, I think it worked amazingly well. Despite the lack of the plant. There we go. Now we've got that there. I think that triangle just kind of helped it a little bit. We're actually going to add, and I think of it, light modeling paste to our breeze. Now I'm just using my golden tester tube. So they sent me a test one a few months ago. I've been testing it out, and yes, I got blue in it, and I didn't mean to. It was one of those very uncoordinated moments. So the benefits of adding modeling paste to a paint is that it barely lightens the paint. Like, as you can see, that's nearly the same color it was that was on the... Oh, shivers. You cannot actually see that because it's too much glare. Right. Sorry. So as you can see, that's nearly the same color as it was before we added the light modeling paste, but look how much more thickness we've got to that. That there is really nice and thick, and because it's got extra body to it now, we can actually use this in a thin stencil without this happening, because we don't like this, not that much. So let's get our detailed stencil that isn't circles. Right. We use circles a lot. And I know we use circles a lot. Because I like circles. A lot.
Are circles your favorite shape?
They are nearly my favourite shape, nearly. I do like a good circle. So I was thinking, maybe this is quite detailed. Has a very all over colour to it at the moment. So you probably can't really see what it is, but it's got like a flower and a mermaid scale. Oh, hello, Bronnie and Pam. Like they've got two different mermaid scales there. So what we're going to probably do is we're going to add in this flower, I think. I'm going to come in. Let's give ourselves a generous scrape. And we started off with a generous amount on our brush, as you would have seen. Don't get me wrong, this isn't as detailed as the bird cage as I'd shown earlier, but it still has a little bit too much of it to be done with just paint. But with the light modeling paste added, now spreading it out thin enough. Hopefully this works. So I've literally just... Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. And we have ourselves a lovely, nice flower with barely any bleed through, which is nice, I think. What do you guys think? I think it looks good. So because this is like modeling paste, it is going to take a little bit more longer than what your normal paints will take to dry. By doing this, it also means we have a focal point, which is really nice because it's got the brown behind it. But I do think we need to tie a bit more brown into this and a bit more purple. And I'm going to show you basically how stamps work once you've done scraping over top of something and the scraping's not fully dry yet. So we're going to come in and we're going to use 2 stamps to show this. So we've got this stamp here, which is our detailed dot one, which I love. And then we're going to use something that's got a bit more of the circumference area. It's not very detailed. And while I'm speaking, I'm trying to think of one of my stamps I could use for this.
One that's got one thing on it?
Basically, yeah, not much detail to it. Very simple, kind of like rectangles like this one here, which is a paintbrush stamp, which you probably can't really guess from looking at. Oh, you can kind of guess. It's kind of like, it's got rectangles on it. Nice and softy. So, what we're going to come and do is first I'll show you the thin one. So we're just going to load it like we normally would with a thin amount of paint on our finger. As you can see, you can't really see. And then first we're going to do it in an area that doesn't have much scraping, which is here and here. Then we're going to do it in more of a thick scraped area. So we're just going to, actually, we'll do it over here first. So this is an area that doesn't have much scraping in it already. As you can see, not much problem. Not much problem at all. Like, that worked splendidly. I think that matches it really well. This dot stamp is bloody beautiful. We're going to be making these soon, by the way, people. Right.
I hope we do. I will.
Man, I've just spent the last 2 days trying to set up a machine to make them. Do not say hope. We will.
We will.
It's like right up there with a script stamp and a script stencil.
Mm-hmm.
Right, here we go. Oh, shoot, we're live. Forget I said that. Anyway. Then, we're going to come over here to more, like, this isn't dry yet. If I put my finger down, it's, yeah, the paint's coming up. See? That purple, hold up. See, no purple on this finger? Down, purple on it. So, not dry. If we come in with our super thigh stencil on the stamp, it kind of works, but we also get purple into our thing. So we do get it down, but when it gets to the more thicker bits like this, we actually end up with paint in our stamp. And that's what can destroy stamps. So that's what we've got to be wary of. And then, it's very exciting. Don't tell anyone I said that on the live, by the way. And Meals, this is your secret test. Nothing. Right. So now that we've got that on there, I think what we're just going to come and do, we're just going to add a little bit more. And I know this is going to seem possibly mad, but we just need a little bit more on this, and we can add some purple with our other stamps, and then you guys can see what it is that I'm talking about. I really like this page. It's educational, dear me. Turning into an adult. Yikes. There we go. So now that we've got that on there, which I think that bit of extra brown kind of gives it a little bit of, you know, push. And then I'm going to add this stamp in purple in one spot. Because let's push the boundaries of, you know, composition while we're working. And let's go with it on here. And as you can see, this is a fairly rectangle stamp. I don't get much detail of this anymore because I kind of have destroyed it.
No.
2 minutes, then you've got to come out and have this.
And then there we go. Now we're going to come in, just point the paintbrush out and in. And that didn't go very far. Anyway. There we go. So we've added it in 3 spots now. So we've got it up here, here, and here. So you can see it looks quite nice. So that one there works wherever we go. It doesn't have much detail to it, so it can stamp over really thick stuff. Like here, we went over modeling paste, and over here we've gone over multiple layers of paint. Up here it was a bit more lighter, but that's okay. So we've got that all over that area, and I think we're ready to remove our tags now. And then we might have to add a little bit in depending on where our tag sat, because sometimes, you know, there's not enough pattern on it, which is fair enough. So there we go. So we've removed that one. So this is tag 1. Look at that. That's a lovely tag. All that needs is a word. And then that's what's left on the page, which I'm considering we might have to do flicking. So I'm just going to stick this to the side here, so then he doesn't get... I'm sticking it to the frame. Right, this is the one I possibly stuck down with a little bit too much tape. And considering the fact that it's ripping right now, I'd say I was possibly correct. Oh no, here we go. Yeah, definitely only you need 1 strip down the middle, not 2 down each side. And then that's our other tag. See, also very easy. We're doing this right now because May is the month of gift giving. So is July and June and, oh my gosh, August, and then September. Definitely September. Right. So there's our page so far. I like it, but I think we need some of these breeze flowers that we've done here in here, maybe. Like just a few. And then maybe a word over this side, you know? With a flick of purple. How are we thinking? I reckon that sounds nice. Let's grab
2 minutes.
our modeling paste. Amelia's pushing her bedtime, if anyone else can hear that. And then where is the scraper we use for this one? So that one's there. I feel like it was this one. I have that many scrapers in my area. It is unbelievable some days. There we go. So they do sometimes get covered in paint. And the best way to do is leave it to dry, crack it, and then peel off. See? And that there. That's the peely off bit. Ta-da! Now where's our breeze paint? So let's grab our breeze, stick it where we had it. Grab our stencil, put it into place. We only really have one flower on the stencil though. Let's see if we can find another flower stencil. There's a few more flowers on it. A bit more detail. I'll be a Republican than that, but trust me. I think we need maybe one more. You know what? See how we go. If worst comes to worst, we'll put roses on it. I've got roses down there, but I don't think they match out all the flowers. So here we go. So we're just going to come in. Oh, now I've got it all over my finger. I don't think that was enough. No, you can see it's not enough because it's just not thick enough. So, because we put a bit more extra paint out this time. So this works with your light modeling paste as well. I'm just using what I've got at my desk currently, which is this Gold Test Pack. They sent me a kit. It's free product. I'm going to use it. Simple as that. Right. And look at that. That's nice. It's like, oh dear, glare, 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 glare. It's like an ice cream. See? Perfect. Right. Let's get going. This bad boy. So we're going to grab out our lovely, lovely, lovely stencil. Stick him down here. Put him so he's coming out. And then scrape down and out. All of these things. We are trying to keep the layers nice and thin because it is getting to those colder months. So we want this to dry before next week. And then let's lift that one up so they can see. So as you can see, it looks really nice. And then we're going to come and do this one up over here, which is this other style flower. And I don't really want this one to cross the border. So we're just going to grab our piece of sacrificial typing paper. Yes, I do have a piece of sacrificial typing paper at my desk. I'll put that one on the border. Where our tag used to sit. It's good. Come in, scrape, scrape, scrape. Lift that one off. Now we got that one there. We've got a bit more of this breeze. We're just going to come up. Yeah. Scrape it so that it comes up on a bit. Because we do want to get this a little bit, you know, mixed. There we go. And we're going to grab our easy stamp to use. Put a bit on there. You can see. And then we're just going to come in on this side, on top of the flower we just did. I know. A bit risky, but it looks good, I think. Just going to clear off the modelling paste to add a bit more. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good with the purple, and then just a bit. One there, a little bit up here. Now we've got that. What I'm going to do is we're going to grab our brown stencil, or our stamp that we used with our brown, which is this dot one. Put them up again. Thin them out. And there, and that one down there. I literally love this dot stencil stamp. I'm going to lift it up to show you. It's just so satisfying. Who wouldn't want a stamp that did that? Like, look at it. It brings it together, honestly. Right. Now, we do need, though, just a bit there, and a bit following the purple up there. And then I think we need a word. Oh, do you reckon we don't need a word? Maybe we do need a word. I think there. What type of word do we want this week? We can grab out. I did find a different stencil last week. I've got this one here that says "What a beautiful mess." So we could, yeah, beautiful not gonna fit. Life, or we could do the word life, or where's our stencil from last? I do like this one with all the words on it. We could actually use a piece of one of our papers, though. We could use the Tranquility Vellum paper. I've got a bit here, actually. Well, I've got a bit of Tranquility paper. So we've got a bit of this, or if we don't want it to be see-through, dearie doctor. I'm knocking stuff over left, right, and centre trying to find stuff. Yikes. 1 minute, people. I've had an avalanche. Had more than an avalanche. A really bad avalanche. I just kind of need to clean my desk up a bit. Right. No, covers too much up. Different brown as well. Right. I like the little dear little ones. You reckon the little ones? Yeah, let's go. Right, let's see what we've got here. We've got all of those. So let me get my snippers. Let's see. We could probably do 2 over this page here and 1 up here. So with that in mind, We're looking for 3 words. And I feel like wisdom could do W's. Wonder, wisdom, and wonderful. That's just 3 W's. Ticks all the boxes, doesn't it? Or we could do create, creativity. And I guess we could do kindness. Yeah, like the little ones look really cute. Let's see. How do we feel about the wonder, wisdom, and wonderful? Oh, we also do have courage on here as well. So could you create, creativity, and courage? And we also have connection. Connection, courage, and create. Wonder, wisdom, wonderful. We've got love, loyalty. I feel like starting with all the same letters is kind of the theme we're going with here, by the way, people. Try to find a third L. W's. Yeah, I felt like the W's really was our peak, wasn't it? There is water in between these, but like the word water, not the actual substance. However, I just don't think it matches the page, considering I've only got a minty green in it. So let's just try our things out for size and where we're going to place them. So let me just cut them. If their borders are knotty, then I will show you where they are. Where I think I'm going to place them after I get them on. I'll lift it up to show you. So this is where I think I'm going to place them. I do like it. Okay. I will admit, I think they look pretty good there. So this one here, we don't actually do much. We just have to stick it to our... Oh no, the light modeling paste is only dry. Not there though. So there's already stuck to the light modeling paste, but we do need to come in with behind with some glue on these ones. So we're just gonna use our dimensional magic because we're already sticking it to something that already has a fair amount of stick to it. So like the light modeling paste is still quite wet where we're sticking it. So this dimensional magic is literally just a backup in case there's any dry spots underneath it. It's not like you're sticking it down with nothing else sticky behind it. It already has a pretty solid medium behind it. And in saying that, they're not... Oh, they're starting to go. 1 minute. Because the vellum was starting to curl on me. I have to do a bit of globbiness to it. Stay. There we go. So we've just had to put a fairly thick amount of glue on there to stop them from curling. Oh, thank you, Diane G. Thank you, Diane D on YouTube. So I've put a thick amount of glub of the gel medium on that, which will dry clear. Like you still have texture there, like the thickness of it, but it holds the vellum down. I forgot the edges curl. I now know why it was in my big collage tub, which makes sense. I sometimes forget that I have a layering system in my collage tub. Obviously, this was one of those nights. I don't know if it needs anything else. I feel like it needs white, but I feel like that's always my answer. I don't think it does, though. Maybe. I'm just not sold yet, but it looks lovely and fabulous. And we have another 2 tags to challenge ourselves. ourselves to create something with this week. This one here will be really easy. This one here might need a bit more, but yeah. That's 2 tags. A beautiful page. And see, look. Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Diane G, Diane D, Pam, Karis, Mary, Debbie. So we've got that one there with a hole in them. And then we've got our other 2 holey ones. And now, who knows what we're going to do next week for holey. We might focus on brayer techniques next. All about how to apply paint lightly as we go into the colder months. And do collage on top. Because we do collage on bottom so often, we're doing collage on top now. And that's really to focus on how we could use our rice papers, because we've been getting a lot more questions as we release a lot more of these embellished type bouquet rice papers on how to use them. So really just trying to focus on how you can use them in your layer process and how you can convert these over to your scrapbook pages. And also learning about like your different materials and like what does and doesn't work technique wise. Obviously with thin stencils, scraping is a lot harder, so we do suggest spraying. Spraying is easier with thinner stencils, or put light modeling paste or gesso with them. Light modeling paste works best, as you can see. But yes, so thank you all for coming. I hope you have a wonderful week. We are back tomorrow in our next subscription group for May. Oh, look, I found where that scraper was I was looking for. Interesting. Didn't use any paintbrushes. Anyway, so we are in our new subscription group. If you're not in there, please text message us. Please, 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 please. If you haven't paid for your kits or your subscription for May yet, do so in the next 12 hours. And we should be able to get you into the group before class. Obviously, if you pay like 10 minutes before the class starts, we're not going to be able to get you into the group before then, because Dan and I will be at the shop working by 9:30 tomorrow, and Mum will already be set up and probably about to go on or doing the paperwork to go on. So we won't be able to do that. So make sure you guys get that done beforehand. And something else I had to mention. This week is the Easter Blessings kit, I believe. And hopefully we get our new machine working so we can use some lovely new product on Friday. Anyway, and we can have our first of our new product range on next Monday. Anyway, but thank you all for coming, and I shall see you next week with hopefully some very exciting goodies. So thank you all and have a lovely week. Bye.